Hi folks, welcome to Wrestle-Up, the new podcast from myself, Andy N, and Dray. Now we've also got a new friend of us today. Who are you, our new friend? You want to tell everybody who you are beneath that mask and where your interest in wrestling first came?
Well, it's been me all along.
God's sake.
I think I just got kicked off the podcast, listeners.
Oh, that was a quick one, wasn't it?
So, hi guys, my name is Paul McNamara. I've been a wrestling fan for, probably 14, 15 years. I'm a one-time WrestleMania attendee, and probably the only time I'll ever do it because it's so expensive. And yeah, I just love wrestling, and I'm excited to talk about some wrestling today.
Yeah, now the bulk of episode 2 today is going to be AEW's All or Nothing episode of 2020 from last night, which we've all watched at various hours of the morning. In my case, I got up at 10 to 7 this morning.
Watch it live, Double or Nothing, baby.
What time do you start watching? Was it midnight it came on that day last night, was it?
So the buy-in officially started at 12:30 a.m. UK time.
Good God. Well, that means it started, what, 1:30 then, didn't it?
No. So what happened? The buy-in's only half an hour long. It's not like the overbloated WWE pre-show. So, you know.
Yeah. So what time did the main podcast start last night? Oh, this morning then, Dray. Main podcast, main show, sorry.
Well, the main show, I was going to say, this is the main podcast, isn't it?
I'm getting confused.
Yeah, so let's briefly talk. Well, I think it was mainly me that has written notes for the buy-in. We'll skim over that very quickly. So we've got Private Party versus Best Friends. Now the winner of this match goes for the tag belts currently held by Omega and Hangman Page, I always pronounce it like Omega-3 oils, but anyway, Kenny Omega and Hangman Page, of which we'll talk about them much later on, I am sure. So, I rated this match at 2.5 out of 5. It really showed that Private Party felt a little bit sloppy at times, but I think even though they had a couple of matches in AEW Dark, because Best Friends have been wrestling so more often during the lockdown and isolation period, they kind of suffered from that, but it was a solid match. It was a decent match and decent pace, and yeah, I mean, I would have personally wanted Private Party to win only because they needed more steam, but then again, Best Friends are on form, so it's good to keep them strong.
Yeah, no, great. The two lads that are Best Friends, obviously, aren't Orange Cassidy. They're about, 13 and 14-year-old veterans, aren't they? So I know they've been wrestling a long time. So that's why it makes sense to give them the run at the moment still. Because Private Party, what are they in their early 20s, aren't they? They're a pretty young team, aren't they? So.
Again, I can quickly double check, but they definitely look younger than me, I can tell you that much.
And definitely me, all right? So that's for sure. But I know, obviously, also in the pre-show, while Dray researched his information for us, I know the other thing I heard about was it Lance Archer? Was it a sledgehammer? Or was it the tallest, taller than breaking the tallest?
Yes, that was great. That was a great visual. That was a beautiful visual. Pretty intense. But yeah, lovely stuff.
That's what I read.
Intense night, to be fair.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? So. Right, okay. While Dray gets that up then, and obviously the first fight of the night was a casino battle royal. Now, I've got a bit
the main show!
Oh, there we are. On to the main show, yes. Okay, main show. Now, the question I've got for both of you two was, and the commentary confused me on this, how many people were actually advertised and been in the casino battle royal? Was it 8 or 9?
No, so to clarify, it has always been 9 people, but the 9th person's always been a mystery.
Right.
Yeah. it's been clear from day one. Don't you worry. I mean, obviously, it got clear from the point at which they announced the first 8 because they slowly trickled announcing each competitor to build up for this pay-per-view.
Right, that's fair enough then. What I didn't understand was Jimmy Havoc one of the actual wrestlers, or was he just come on board?
No.
He was just with Kip Sabian for fun, pretty much.
He
manager.
I mean, to be fair, we had best friends interfere. We've had Penelope interfering. We've had Jimmy Havoc interfering. So to be fair, it's just so Havoc was just playing spoiler. To be fair, looking after his mate Kip, you know.
It's fair enough then. So right, should we talk about it, what stage by stage, and so everyone knows obviously who came out first?
So I've got the running order here. So the first 2, which I found very interesting, was Kazarian and Scorpio Sky, both members of SCU. So yeah, both of them arrived, and that was interesting in that sense because it showed that there's an already inbuilt kind of chemistry because they're both tag teams of SCU, and SCU's been around for a while. And yeah, I mean that was a decent start. And number 3, Kip Sabian, alongside fellow Brit Jimmy Havoc, and the super bad girlfriend that is Penelope Ford. But yeah, it's very interesting. But of course, I'll tell you what, right? My initial, so I predicted that, and we'll go on to this later. I predicted that the mystery opponent was going to win. But I also said that Darby Allin had a shot, and he was number 4. So tell me, guys, how did you guys feel about Darby Allin's performance?
Well, I'm surprised we're still walking after that.
Yeah.
You had that case on immediately,
didn't he?
Yeah, he hurt himself immediately when he did that skateboard off Frankie Zera.
Yeah, you saw. Yeah, what did you guys think of the skateboard spot?
I made me squirt.
It looked like he should not have survived it.
Yeah, he's a great talent, but he's insane, that's for sure. So it really made me squirm, that did. That's for sure with it. So what do you think, Paul? Anything else you want to say about that?
Yeah, like he really he throws caution to the wind every time with his body. Like he just gets thrown around like he does not care what happens to him. And it's exciting, like it's worrying, but it's exciting.
I think the pace really quickened up because even though Kazarian and Scorpio Sky, they are good, Darby Allin just really adds to the pace and the tempo of the match because he has some quite a lot of speed, but that's completely opposite of number 5, which is Orange Cassidy, spending the whole 2 minutes just slowly getting ready. It's like, just imagine, if we're going away from wrestling, I mean, can you imagine Andy running a poetry night and then the performance in 2 minutes just going like, all right.
Yeah, brilliant.
I've seen people do that. It doesn't work as well.
What got me with Orange Cassidy was, first of all, he went up to the commentary, didn't he? And they were saying in the commentary, they weren't sure if he knew what sort of match he was in. He was just looking completely befuddled, wasn't he? It took him, a minute and a half to get in the ring. And he had his glasses on for a good 10 to 15 minutes. We actually took them off or lost them.
Yeah.
I mean, he loves them glasses. And also an amazing note is when he came in, he just didn't know how to he apparently didn't know how to even sort out a ladder. I mean, that's amazing.
Quality.
Like, it was so stupid, but so entertaining.
Yeah, they've got they have something of him. They really do have something with Orange Cassidy. And that's the thing that people like him.
Absolutely. I mean, t-shirts and merchandise are one of the hottest sellers in the AEW shop right now. And of course, we don't work for AEW, but hey, definitely check out AEWshop.com to get your sweet thing.
And if AEW is listening and want to send us some, sponsorship t-shirts, we'll be happy to wear
them. Free t-shirts, please.
I mean, I do have I'll tell you this. As soon as Jon Moxley debuted for AEW, this time last year in the first Double or Nothing, I was like, right, time to buy the t-shirt, and I was semi-prepared to wear it today, but I'm like, nah, I'll wear it another time. But yeah, I have the John Moxley unscripted Mox Violence t-shirt. There's a good tee, a good
Oh,
thing,
yeah, completely.
which you can get at AEWshop.com. But yeah, number 6, we have Colt Cabana, which just added, he really was just adding really to the comedy and the
Don't
vibe
like him.
with
Don't like him.
Orange Cassidy.
Don't like him.
You don't like him?
Never been a big fan of him, truth be told you.
Paul, what's your thoughts? Paul, what's your thoughts on Andy's controversial opinions there?
I kind of don't have very strong feelings for Colt Cabana. I enjoy his podcast, but as a wrestler, I enjoy moments, but I think he was like, he added a solid body to the match, but I don't think any of my highlights of the match really included him.
I think that if we had every wrestler available for this event, because obviously some wrestlers have decided to be safe and not participate, I think Colt Cabana's spot could have been given to somebody else. But I see what you mean. I think out of all the competitors, I think Colt Cabana, I don't think he just held any banana compared to all the rest of the great competitors, to be fair.
You know what I wrote down?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what impact it made on me. I've just realised it. I wrote his name down, not Colt Cabana in my notes. It's Colt Banana.
Fair.
It sums up what I think when I was watching it. So
you didn't get enough sleep last night, Andy?
No, didn't, unfortunately. Neighbours for you. So anyway, right. Okay. After that, we had Joey Janela, didn't we?
Yep, the replacement instead of Ray Phoenix. I mean, Ray Phoenix not being in the match, it didn't hurt that much because Joey Janela does a good enough job, in my opinion. I mean, he did good. He did good. I mean, he added it, and he was the first competitor to add chairs. He brought a damn chair, brought it into the ring, like, you know, really adding to the spice right there.
Yeah,
and
he does. He's got that
8,
about him. Definitely brings a different element to a fight. So there's a spot when you look at these sort of fights, there's spot fights anyhow, really, aren't they? So he can guarantee we'll do something crazy. You know, makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And number 8, I tell you, the big man himself, not the big dog Roman Reigns, that's some other company, the big dinosaur. We got Luchasaurus literally playing the big man role, taking down everybody. Like, what's your thoughts on Luchasaurus in the match? I mean, I think he was absolutely impressive.
He did great. Did great. He reminds me of some of his moves, like the Undertaker in some way. He does, like a regular Undertaker. I can see it the way he moves sometimes, when he moves his feet and stuff. And he's very agile for a big bloke. Very, very agile. What do you think about him, Paul?
I mean, I've never seen Undertaker do a kip up. I've seen him sit up, but not kip up. You know. So
what do you think? What do you think, Paul? Luchasaurus.
Yeah, I thought he has such a great presence as well. Like, he has all the, you know, flashy moves, but he has that look. I think he really sells himself. He really has that presence in the ring.
Yeah, it's got something. It's got something, that's for sure.
And as a member of Mask Gang, you know, I mean, Luchasaurus's mask is excellent. It definitely brings a strong vibe, and it really atones to the Luchasaurus.
Yeah. No, I think AEW has got something with him. I think he could be a really big star for them in time to come, because he's not that old. Because obviously, like Jack Perry and Marco Stunt are in the 20s. I think he's about 30, isn't he? So he could get
he's got a lot of his head. Absolutely. Now, let's talk about the surprise entrant. Now, Andy, your thoughts on the agile freak of nature, formerly of Impact Wrestling and various other indie promotions, Brian Cage.
I've actually seen him on Impact before, and he's exceptional. The massive bloke again. But he's a good signing. And what they've done, obviously, bringing Taz with him, they've created in a lot of ways a very similar dynamic to what they've got with Lance Archer and Jake Snake Roberts. I think he's incredibly agile. Look, I've seen him, but I do remember him from Impact. I didn't know till this morning, after I watched the pay-per-view, that he's been carrying an injury for about 4 months. As the AEW signed him in January, but they told him at the time, they knew about the injury, they couldn't, we'll pay you. Get yourself fit when you're ready. So
yeah, I remember them signing Brian Cage a few months ago, I remembered seeing that, but I felt that it was a mixture of injury, but also when to fit him in to get the most impact. Like, you wouldn't want to, like, if you wanted him to make a big splash, you wouldn't want to put him in like just some random episode of Dynamite. You know what I mean? Like, you know, gotta have it at the big time. Yeah, and literally, Brian Cage, he came in with a flipping ladder, and he just like, oh, what the hell? That was an exceptional visual. Yeah. So, what do you guys think? So Paul, what do you think of Taz adding to the dynamic of Brian Cage?
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, it might be a good mouthpiece for him, and I suppose like he can add that little bit of legitimacy and mainstream appeal to Brian Cage, who, I suppose, as you said it best when you said Impact and other indie promotions, there's not a lot of watching Impact anymore, so it's good maybe to just have that big name with Brian Cage. Even though I know the AEW audience in general is quite a smart audience, but I think it should be good for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And when Brian Cage came in, he literally cleaned house quicker than most Jackie Chan movies. When Jackie Chan did his thing, but then what happened was that everybody except Darby Allin, because Darby Allin got smoked by Brian Cage and was out of the match for a bit, and that was interesting because if you notice on the AEW Dynamite episode, Darby Allin kept talking to Taz, and I feel there is an inbuilt storyline between Brian Cage and Darby Allin, so definitely watch this space for that. But yeah, everybody ganged up apart from Darby Allin to literally like throw the table, throw the casino, big ass chips, literally like bury him, stick casino chips under. Do you know what I mean? It was that was
really good.
And,
I was pleased when Taz came out with Brian Cage. I mean, the initial reaction was instant. That you said, Dray, is immediately set storyline up for Brian Cage, and what would necessarily, obviously, once he finished off the John Moxley title thing, which I don't expect him to win, but it's then set to the next storyline up, and that's what they seem very, very good at. Is planning, leaving seeds all the time for the storyline and stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, and then the thing is that I do have a slight gripe with this match. So within the last like 5 to 10 minutes of this match, it just went into like ridiculous like interference city. So we got like Marco Stunt bringing in a mini ladder.
Oh, fantastic!
I was like, that was hella funny. I thought it was hella funny, but I was like, well, that's not very useful, and also like Havoc kept interfering far more than people in my past relationships interfering in my personal life, and we've also had like, we have Penelope Ford, we've had best friends. It literally felt like a big family gathering, literally going wrong with a food fight. That's how mad it became. And and then whoa, I'll tell you what. And also there was a botch. There was a botch when Luchasaurus was meant to powerbomb Kazarian, but he didn't 100% catch it, so that was a noticeable botch. However, I will say that there was an exceptional code red by Darby Allin on Luchasaurus towards the end of the match. That was absolutely incredible. But yeah, I mean, looking at the match, I feel that Brian Cage I felt that he was a true shining light, and I think it is one of the strongest debuts in wrestling within AEW in a long time. What do you think, Andy?
Yeah, completely agree. The full fight was set up, and it was a 32-minute fight. This very much, a long one start of a pay-per-view with nice, but straight away, no, it was all geared to set him up, to bring him in at the end of it. And I was wondering all along, the thought was Darby Allin was clearly the favourite, but the other commentators were making it too obvious. I thought, it must be the actual mystery guest at the end of it that's going to be the big star and win it, and I got dead right. Whether they should have done that is another ball game. Is it too fast, too soon? But no, excellent stuff.
I mean, it's one of those, but then you can argue, we can talk about this later on, you can make the argument of, is Brody Lee's first actual proper, like, feud for the AEW World Title, is that too soon? Which we'll discuss during the main title match. But yeah, What do you guys think of just generally? What do you guys think of just Brian Cage winning? Paul, do you feel that it was the right choice based on the match booking?
Yeah, again, I don't want to go too much into the world title match, as you were saying, but I think, they have this good thing of this long-term storytelling where they're building them up quick to kind of make them seem a contender, make them kind of cement their position in the company. And then, even if they don't win that big title match, they seem to be able to transition them on as a kind of, other storylines, other things going on. So I think
there seems to be a flow. There seems to be.
Yeah, a great flow complete. The flow does seem to work really well as an organisation with this. And you think that they had, 8 other people, they had, 9 people in the first fight. I don't think, the ones that matter, weren't hurt by losing the match. Like Darby Allin, for example, Luchasaurus, and then Orange Cassidy, they're not going to lose the flow. A couple of the lads and stuff are mid-carders or possibly the card, they're immaterial. But they're not going to, the poor ones won't lose the flow in that match. So
absolutely. So, Paul, what do you rate this out of 5 stars?
I really like this match. I really like Orange Cassidy's stuff.
He's a star.
Versus Brian Cage, that little exchange I had thought was so much fun. The ending, again, I was happy with Brian Cage. I thought there was a little bit of a botch there at the end with Brian Cage and Darby Allin. But overall, I thought it was a great match. I gave it 4.25 stars out of 5.
And Andy?
4 out of 5, definitely. Love Brian Cage's debut on it. I thought Orange Cassidy was hysterical on it. He's got something, that guy really has. I don't think he'd ever rise for him in the mid-carder, but he's so popular and funny. And they've set things up for other feuds immediately, so a very, very good start. Possibly a bit long, because 32 minutes for a first fight is some going. But no,
I mean, to be fair, it was all fast-paced in the sense that you had 9 wrestlers booked in this match, plus also the interference. So my rating, so I went a bit harsh. I was initially going to rate this 3.5 or 3.75 out of 5, but due to some of the botches and I'm not the most easiest to please, I actually rate this 3.25 out of 5 stars.
Wow.
So it was good. It was good.
Fair.
It was good, but let's just talk about potentially better matches, of which let's start off with talking to Paul about MJF versus Jungle Boy. What's your thoughts on this match?
Honestly, I looked up a little bit about this afterwards online, and I was a little bit surprised how well it was received. I didn't think it was a bad match at all, but I don't think I got blown away as much with by a lot of other people. But it did. It had a lot of great character work, a lot of great selling, a lot of great storyline build. But I don't know, there was something missing in it for me at the same time.
Interesting.
And Andy?
Yeah, I liked it. But I think Paul's right with it. I felt it was a funny match just to carry on with after what had gone through in the first 32 match. I think both the lads are stars in the future for AEW. But Jack Perry's 22, isn't he? And MJF, I believe, is 24. They've only got about 8 years' experience in the pair of them. Something not a lot. And I think they've got some, but there was definitely something missing in the fight. Whether it's all the fact of the stalling that MJF was doing in it, perhaps he was good, but not great at it. I'm not that convinced, but no, enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that is could be a bit of a gripe, but I can see 2 sides of this. So, on the one hand, you have 2 wrestlers who are both in their early 20s that could potentially be the benchmark of AEW for at least 10 years.
Yeah,
with Jungle Boy really propelling himself and really showcasing very well what he can do. And I think that's great. But on the other hand, you're building up MJF to be a top-level star. And the way that he won the match kind of felt as if kind of a bit chicken shit heel, kind of, sort of not that dominant kind of thing. But I'm kind of like 50-50 in terms of the booking structure of the match. But in terms of match quality, I quite like it. I mean, great innovative grappling as well, right at the start of the match, and definitely they had a nice flow to them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
So
agreed.
saying about this. So yeah, absolutely. So Paul, rating out of 5.
I did. I enjoyed some of the aggression. I enjoyed some of the moves. 3.25. I think 3.25 out of 5.
Andy.
I'm going 4 out of 5. I've been good here today, so the 17-minute fight. I'm going to be negative later. I'm going to be negative later because there's a couple of fights I've got the bobbins. Frankly, but no. What I did like about this was I loved the fact in it. Wardlow came out with MJF, but I was visions. I thought if MJF's going to win this, Wardlow will interfere and win in the fight, but he didn't. And I liked the fact where they had these near pin falls and obviously MJF scraped one, but I think it worked. If they want to, they can carry that feud on now. The left is open. I could book him, but 4 or 5.
Absolutely. Well, here's the thing. I'm going to actually change my mind on my notes. So initially, my notes, because I was actually chatting to a few mates of mine. I had like it wasn't like filmed or anything, but me and my mates, we were just chatting on video chat. We were just watching it live all together. But I initially rated it 2.75 out of 5.
Wow.
However, because I've been thinking about this, mulling over this, I'm going to bump it up to a 3.25 out of 5 stars. I feel that it was good. I really liked it, but I felt that the storyline in itself, I knocked 0.5 of a ranking out of it. Yeah, you know.
No, fair play, mate. Agree. Great. Right. Okay. On to fight number 3 now, aren't we? And we'll talk about Cody versus Lance Archer. And I've got things to say about this as well. So, right, Paul, do you want to start off this?
Can we talk about the belt first? Can we talk about the belt design?
Yes. Do the belt thing first. Yes. Let you do that then. Right.
Oh, the belt. To be fair to them, they did say that the belt hasn't been finished yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I heard after this event. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that's a strange thing to announce, wasn't it? It was like I couldn't get my head around that. So, but anyway, Paul, we'll let you start off this time. What do you think of this fight?
I'm quite. I feel like I'm being quite negative towards the start, but I do enjoy it. Yeah, I thought there was some fun moments in this. Cody did the entrance, Lance Archer's entrance, where he just walked in like beating someone up and just chokes them in the middle.
Who was that?
It's a gimmick where he does this every week, where he just finds somebody random backstage, just beats the living hell out of him.
Oh yeah,
and I'm like,
I really like that. That's really fun.
I love it. I love it. I love him. I love Lance Archer just kicking the living hell out of random people. Hell yeah, injected to my veins. But yeah, I'm going to tell you this right now. When I saw the design, but they said it's not finished. Absolute piece of shit. Like, what the hell are they thinking? Like, it looks so tacky. I mean, the design that they made, it very silver, with the TNT logo looking too brazen. It doesn't look very special. It feels kind of like, you know that feeling when somebody that you're dating, instead of them promising you like a lovely treat, they just give you a packet of crisps. That's how I felt by looking at the belt. Like, that's how I felt.
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point.
But yeah, in terms of the match, what did you guys think of Lance Archer not winning the match? Let's go to Andy first. Your thoughts.
I've got something else I want to say before I go on to that one, because right at the beginning of the fight, obviously when he's down.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I want to talk about Mike Tyson very briefly at the front of it. Did you both see his reaction when Lance Archer walked that jobber guy in and started beating up in the ring? He was like, he absolutely loved it. Yeah, he was like, yeah, like that. He was thinking, yeah. He clearly didn't. What got me was he didn't know what was going to happen. He obviously kept that quiet from him, and I thought that was really clever. And in relation to Lance Archer not winning the fight, it was interesting because I think with the first 2 fights, obviously, effectively, I'm presuming that Brian Cage is playing a heel, and obviously MJF is a heel. I don't think they could have done another heel winning that 3rd match. And also, as well as like, I think it made sense to boost it up a bit after that. But Yeah, no, I thought it was a good fight, but I got the feeling from watching it, I think they knew that it was just going to be a good fight, and they had better fights on the last two coming up. So that's why you could have argued with all the personal issues. Surely that should have been higher on the card.
I mean, I could understand why. Maybe Mike Tyson needed to just go to the casino after. I don't know what he does these days. But, so I'm a fan of Mike Tyson, right? The boxer, and he's got a six-pack. He has said that he wants to get back into the ring at only the grand age of 53 years old, but only to do charity matches.
He looked in good shape as well.
Yeah.
I know, and I mean, I think his involvement was decent. I think though that I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like looking at reading, it was a good aggressive start to the match, very good. But I felt there was something a bit missing, if that made sense. Like it was good aggression, but something just missed the bite, like kind of thing. And I really felt sorry for Lance Archer because I think Lance winning would have benefited him more than Cody winning because of his position in the company. But I'll tell you what, right? The funniest bit of the match has to be when what was it? Arn Anderson interfered, and then like Jake's like, "Hey, look!" And then a second referee came and be like, "He did a thing! He did a thing!" And then Mike's like, "Yeah, he did it! He did it!"
Yeah.
I'm like, and then I honestly felt that the way that the match was booked is kind of made Jake the Snake Roberts and Lance Archer stupid. Like, why do you need the snake? Lance was in control of the match. What is the point? You know?
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah, it got clunky at times, I think, storytelling-wise. And even that moment, Arn Anderson looked so awkward because he took forever. I think like I might have like missed his like cue.
Yes.
It felt like
it was very clunky. It felt like it didn't feel fluid at all, that spot. No, at all.
Yeah, I had that on AEW last week when obviously they had Arn Anderson and Jake St. Robert doing a chat talk over the table. That was really clunky to me. And I thought both guys obviously great presences still, but I don't think it's difficult to judge do they have much of the feud or not.
Yeah.
I was thinking as well.
So go on, Paul.
With Cody winning, I feel like it was kind of a bad circumstances because I think like Lance Archer, he said he's great, he's on a roll. So he's saying like he learned a lot from Suzuki. He's just beating up everyone around him, having great fun. But like Lance Archer, 40, and I think Cody Rhodes is probably a better first champion. Even though I think if that wasn't a thing happening, I think Lance Archer probably should have won it. Kind of last.
Yeah, I mean,
agreed.
I think only time will tell. If they could change the belt, finish that belt design, change it
quickly,
and change it tomorrow. Yeah, change it now. Like AEW, like Tony Khan, brother to brother, If you're listening right now, listen to Andy N, Poet, and Paul McNamara. Get this sorted. Get this sorted. Just like boom, like get it sorted. So I'm gonna rate this match a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I feel that the last 5 minutes felt a bit clunky. I would have pushed it closer to 4, but 3.5 out of 5 for me. Andy?
3.75 in this one. Again, you're dead right with Dray. I know. No, I thought the first 15 minutes of the fight was really, really good. And they built up really well. But the last couple minutes, it went off the rails to me. I think you're right. There was something missing at the end of it. So it was too long anyhow. So it should have been 15 minutes rather than 22 minutes. So I'll say 3.5.
Okay, and Paul?
I think also this match might have been hampered a little bit by the fact that I was watching it with some people who weren't really wrestling fans and they didn't like it.
How dare they?
But I think I found it clunky at times. I think for that, like there was a few good parts. Like I think Cody did a springboard cutter off the top at one stage. That one I thought was really cool. But I'd give it 3 stars.
I can feel that. Right. Andy, what's the next match, my dude?
Something we need to talk about before that, because there was a quick segment. There was a quick segment, wasn't there? They were talking about Britt Baker when the doctor came on and announced obviously that she wasn't performing. Now, it is what it is, but obviously that was linking to what's happening on AEW on Wednesday, wasn't it? So obviously they're saying that she could do an announcement how long she'll be out hurt from Wednesday. And it said to me that she's going to be, obviously we'll come with this later, be the next challenger for the AEW champion, I suspect.
Yeah, it seemed logical that, like, we're going to talk about this later.
Yeah.
But she seemed like a shoo-in for the next feud for the top belt. But it's unfortunate, based on what they said in that promo package. I think it looks like 6 to 9 months minimum. I feel it's that kind of like damage, unfortunately.
Yes,
and it's really sad because Britt was actually arguably the #1 female wrestler during this isolation period, like coming into nothing. She had legit something about her, but it depends what they're going to do with her. I mean, they could put her in a non-wrestling capacity role, but I guess we'll get to see.
Yeah,
I guess we'll get to see, but...
Right, anyway, on to the fight.
On Wednesday.
Yeah, on the fight then was, but obviously with that, the injury last minute change, they brought in Penelope Ford versus Chris Statlander. And I'm going to be honest here, I fast forwarded this fight. I can't comment.
The thing is, like, it's really understandable. This match was not going to be that amazing for the fact that they only had a very short period of time to work and the match in the first place. And Penelope Ford isn't that bad, but at the same time, I think if Britt Baker was a Chris Statlander, it would have had far more bite, a far better chance of it being good. I felt that the match was far too long. I felt that it was kind of botch central, and I just feel that like it was
it was 6 minutes, wasn't it? So
I
think it was 6 minutes.
I think 6 minutes. It felt like 10 years.
Because that's why I fast forwarded. I believe the 6 minutes or go somewhere else, but it felt like 10 minutes straight away.
All right, so let's not spend too much time on this match. Chris Statlander wins, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Andy, out of 5.
2.5. Paul, what have you got anything you want to say about this fight, mate, for your market?
Yeah, like, Penelope Ford she's rough. Like, there's a lot of potential there, I think, but I think she's still kind of finding her feet. I think Chris Statlander needs a stronger opponent to have a good match. Like, I think she's had some...
But you are keeping in mind of the fact that they had a very little time to get things working.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, I don't think it was an awful match. I think it was fine for what it was. I give it 2.5 or 2.5 out of 5.
Well, you are very, very kind. I rated it as 1.5 out of 5. I didn't rate it all. Arguably, this was arguably the worst match of the night, but I think
it wasn't. It wasn't.
Second worst.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
No. I'll listen to your reasoning, player. So let's go over to a match that was totally a world-class match. Dustin Rhodes versus Sean Spears. So Mr. Sean Spears suited and booted, ready for a night out instead of actually wrestling. Paul, how did you feel about this match?
Can I just say, at one point in this match, Jim Ross said the line, "Someone get that kid a doctor, there's a crack on his ass." And I really feel like Jim Ross has kind of lost his mind a little bit.
I didn't write that one down.
Like, there was a couple moments where Jim Ross just kind of confused me while watching the show, but
he's expert at that, confusing people.
This was not good. I didn't like any of this.
The question I've got is, where was Tully Blanchard then? Obviously, you'd expect him.
He's isolating. He geezer. You know, I gotta like isolate. You know, stay safe. Stay safe. Don't stay alert. Stay safe.
Stay safe. Yeah. No, he missed his presence.
Anyway, away from politics. So shall we? Do we need to talk much about this match? Shall we just go to rating, or what do we do?
Mark it and move on, right? Because I'm going to say it's bollocks. It was worst match of the night. Worst match of the night with some distance. Right, 1.5 out of 5, and I've been generous.
Paul.
1 out of 5.
Well, as I said, this was slightly better than the last match, so I rated it 1.75 out of 5.
Ooh, hang on.
Mainly because it was funnier, so I thought I had a bit more. So
Now, has anyone noticed something weird? And that this fight was gone. Dray has given this one the highest mark of the night. Out of the three of us.
What are you trying to imply here, Mr. Andy?
You're a stricter marker than I am. I've been quite nice.
I just found it a bit more entertaining, but if it's under 2 stars, I don't need to watch it again. It wasn't good, but it was better than the Chris Statlander Penelope Ford match. At least with the Shawn Spears and Dustin Rhodes match, had a bit of storyline. It was funny, and like for some reason we saw Tully Blanchard on his crotch, so it's just funny as hell. So
true.
So speaking of which, let's move on. Andy, what's the next match?
The next match is Nyla Rose versus Kakita Shina. Can I pronounce that right? So
Hikaru Shida.
That's it, right? So my Japanese is bollocks, right? So apologise everyone.
Anyone that is from Japan, Andy apologizes. So
my Japanese is bollocks, so I do apologise.
Yeah, which I'm just translating sumimasen, which is Japanese for sorry, or like, you know what I mean? So anyway, or excuse me kind of thing. So anyway, Andy, talk about this match. How did you feel about this match?
A couple of things in this one that caught my eye straight away was this was the first time we've actually noticed Shahina actually speaking AEW. She did a little bit right at the beginning of the build-up to the program, but I don't recall her ever speaking in any of the previous programs at all on it. And they did seem to give a big build-up towards her right just when the fight came on. And it made me think immediately, they're going to change champions here. Straight away. And that's the third, and it means it was right, but it was a good fight, this. I enjoyed it. It was much better than the previous late women's fight, that's for sure. And it was, about 17 minutes, wasn't it? So, yeah, good fight. Enjoyed it. I liked, particularly, I think the knee off the back of the neck on the ropes was powerful. And also the big poker chip where Nyla Rose was thrown into was nice. I know.
Just a thought. I think the best part of the match was for all those that were as geeky like me. Hikaru Shida kind of wore a Tifa Lockhart inspired outfit from Final Fantasy. So kind of respect to her in wearing that kind of outfit. I actually didn't like this match.
Oh, didn't you? Wow. I'm surprised by that.
Oh, yeah. So basically, the reason why is because I felt that the match was good in the last 5 minutes. It really felt very slow and plodding at times. I felt like they were using like the arena for the sake of it rather than like building up the spots. I also feel that the spots were just a bit yawny, you know what I mean? Like a bit like, kind of thing. However, the last 5 minutes picked it up, so it is why it is not. It is much better than the Penelope Ford Chris Statlander match. So 2.5 out of 5.
Wow.
I really like this match actually. I think this is one of my
Wow.
Nice.
Please explain yourself, Paul.
Honestly, I just thought it was intense. It was really hard hitting. I think the kendo shots were really good at times. Nyla Rose took a few nice ones just to the head. Just bam. It wasn't perfect, but I think the character work was good, the intensity was good. Thought some of the shots were good, and I was surprised. I didn't think they'd do a title change. I thought Nyla Rose was kind of a fairly for a kind of
I got that. I guessed it for the pre-thing, but it was still a surprise for sure. Did not expect that one.
I'd go 4 stars. I really like
4 stars. 4 stars, brother. 4 stars for that, brother.
I
respect your opinion. I respect your opinion.
You're going to hate me now. You're going to hate me now.
Andy, what's your rating of the match and your thoughts?
I felt it was a couple minutes too long on it, but I felt they took it in a different direction with the fact they changed champions on it. I don't think there's much else good doing now Rose on it because of the sheer size and presence of them. I don't think Chris Statlander is as good. So I don't think she's been a challenge to her. But I think the company is too long, but 8 out of 10. I'll say 4 out of 5.
I'm just going to say this right now. If you people think that match was intense, let me tell you, the next match, that is intensity. Jon Moxley versus Mr. Brody Lee. This is an amazing, exceptional match. And Andy, you're going to tell us why, correct?
Oh, yeah, completely. No, there was some great stuff in this fight. This, and obviously, we'll come to the next match after this. This really was went up gears completely. I didn't write down how long this fight went on for, but I think it was a good 18, 20 minutes again. But I love the fact where they built in they put the security between the two wrestlers right at the beginning of it. It gives that sort of major feel to me straight away. And it's what I love the fact was, obviously, with Jon Moxley, he's at his best when the fights just seem to break down. And they're going all over the ring on this one. And plus, we had the infamous thing about at the end of it, didn't we? About the ring, not the ring, the ramp getting destroyed.
Also, just a quick note. I've just got all the ring times on here now. So Hikaru Ishida's match against Nyla Rose was 16 minutes 40 seconds. The Jon Moxley match, how in the world is this shorter? 15 minutes 30. This is an absolute outrage. This is a disgrace. Sorry, Andy Carroll.
That's fine. I didn't know that one. I thought it was longer, actually. It felt longer, didn't it? Because it covered a lot of ground in that one. And I thought it was a really good fight. I was a bit worried, obviously, with Mr. Brody Lee on this, because I thought there was a lot of pressure in this fight he had been. But it showed you the fact was what they did was to use him well. And I didn't, when the fight finished, I thought to myself, he's lost the fight, but he's not to lose the push in that one. Because there's more to come from him and they do better. Exceptional stuff. And like I said, marvelous.
I mean, I'll tell you what, like, it was high intensity, very brutal. There have been mad spots, including the spot you mentioned on the entrance where, like, boom, like blasting through. It got me at the edge of the seat, and the best thing about it, like, the ending of the match was great because it showed that Brody Lee is an absolute monster. He didn't tap out, he passed out, which is great for his character.
It
shows that he is a mother trucking machine. And I'm going to tell you, actually, I'm going to leave my rating till the end. Paul, your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I had a lot of fun with this. Honestly, I thought it was a little bit short. I thought it kind of deserved another few minutes just to space it out a bit and give it that really epic feel.
Yeah, could you get a few minutes out of that Hikaru Ishida match? And then, sorry, Paul.
There was like, once they came out of that whole thing after the big DDT or the big move, those like 3 to 4 minutes leading up to the end, I thought were just brilliant. Like, just that intensity by Moxley, that just full on non-stop. Reminded me kind of like Daniel Bryan from Ring of Honor. Like, remember that like famous match with Nigel McGuinness where he just wouldn't stop elbowing?
Oh, that's a classic.
Oh, wow, I remember that match well, yeah.
But those 4 to 5 minutes that Moxley going mad. I love that.
Just thinking about that match makes me stand out. Right, so Paul, your rating?
Yeah, I am kind of between 4 1/4.
4 1/4. Okay, Andy.
4.5. I'd say 4.5 out of 10. I was going to say with this quick thing.
4.5 out of 10.
4 out of 5.
Out of 10.
5. I'm like, people wondering. I've done my notes like 10. That's what's I'm getting confused on it. But there's one thing I want to say about this was quick thing on this as well. I like the bit when they had the ramp on it. They went through the ramp. How planned that was or not, I don't know. It's very hard to judge. But what I did like was, I loved you could hear him say, "Doc, get in here." And that they get the doctor to check that they were okay. And
added some realism to the match.
Yeah, added realism. Whether it's staged or not, and it must have been staged to a degree. But I love the fact that the doctor was checking on them both. Then he got him out. The body was bleeding after that point, and I thought, well done there. But I bet he bladed himself down there on purpose. But it really had the intensity, particularly when they put the sleeper on him. Okay, basically, it wasn't a downward step for Brody losing in this match. A good effort. Very, very good fight. 4.5 out of 5.
So you pick 4.5? Well, I'm going to actually agree with Paul. 4.25 out of 5. I share more or less your thoughts. I mean, 4.25 out of 5. If it was a couple of minutes more longer, I would look towards the 4.75 mark, I would have said. Okay, so it looks as if every listener here, they've all tuned in to talk about the main event of tonight, perhaps a match that is filled with incident. It was only 34 minutes. I just read on the timer here, and wow, the Stadium Stampede match. So we've got the elite of Hangman Page, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and Matt Damascus, Matt Hardy, normal, whatever. And we have got the Inner Circle with Chris Jericho, the Spanish girl Sammy Guevara, Proud and Powerful Santana Ortiz, and Jake Hager. Holy shit! What a match, Andy. Start us off.
Quick thing to say about this was I listened to an interview Tony Schiavone did on the Wade Keller podcast the other day, and until 2 or 3 days ago, that wasn't going to be the main fight. Originally, they were going to have John Moxley against Mr. Brody Lee. And they made the right move, just swapping the order around here. That was exhausting, that fight was. It just made you wonder what they were going to do next, because this seemed to do everything, didn't they? Like, I've got a list of things here to do this straight away.
Like, I had to really, my handwriting got so small on my notes here. I tell you right now, like, I tell you.
I've got 4 pages of notes here. So
shall we go chronologically, guys? Shall we try and go chronologically? This is the best way of.
That's gonna be hard. Yeah. Okay. Go for it, guys. And Dray.
So the big fight field, it had a big. It had a big fight field due to the entrances. The entrances alone, it felt like a spectacle. How the Inner Circle came in like as if they're like NFL footballers, and then like literally, yeah. And what was very interesting is where the hell was like obviously we know what happened, but like initially my notes was where's Hangman?
I was thinking that.
Where's Hangman?
It took a good 5 minutes. That did, yeah, very clever.
Yeah,
it did. It sure did. But lo and behold, Hangman Page arrived on a motherfucking horse. He arrived on a horse.
Brilliant. I wasn't
yeah.
expecting that.
Myself and my housemate were watching it, and the horse came out, and we literally just stood up and started clapping. We were like, "This is the best thing! This is the best thing!"
Oh, fantastic!
I was so happy.
Yeah, I think that it shows you really since they changed Hangman's character. Is like in this case, they've made a star out of him, haven't they? This drink thing, they've almost given they could probably make an Austin out of him eventually. The ceiling's massive.
I mean, there is a potential for that. I mean, man loves his alcohol, as we're going to talk about later in the match. And literally, I mean, Hangman chased Sammy Guevara, and then what happened was that like Guevara hid, and then Hangman was like, "Well, I can't find him, so I'm just gonna go to the bar." I was like, "What's going on? What's this?"
That was pure genius. Paul, what were your friends like on that one when they saw that scene?
They had gone at that stage, unfortunately.
So
they would have loved it.
Absolutely.
I will say one of my few drawbacks of this entire match was I think the time between Sammy Guevara coming back on and Hangman Page realizing, oh, I can't find him, was a very, very long time.
It was too long. It was way too long, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was a good 10 minutes.
Too long? Oh, you guys are critics, I tell you.
That's one of my. I have very few issues with that match, but that was just one tiny one.
All right, so one of the first big spots in the match was when Matt Jackson, who's the one that's got the taped ribs, did the backflip of the field, and he's got broken ribs. What's wrong with him? And like literally, I felt like Nick was telling him, "Bro, I haven't got damage. Why don't I do that?" No, I got this, man. It's fine. Like, I was like, wow. That was incredible. That was incredible.
That was really cool.
I just found that. I just loved how they only used the ring for like the first quarter or the first third of the match. I just found it funny.
Pretty well, wasn't it? Yeah, they didn't bother after that.
And also, a side note, I love the fact they had multiple referees in the match, as if like in NFL and American football, they have multiple referees anyway, and like to cover like everywhere. Like, I just found that quite funny. And I think one of the most funniest bits of the match began when we had this little pool of water. So
yes.
That was an absolute. Some of the stuff that was there kind of harked me back to when I was a kid. So Andy, what the hell was happening in the apparent lake of reincarnation?
Oh, I lost count on it. How many different parts of Matt Hardy's character went back to him that. But the line that got me was Ortiz said, I can't swim. And then he got dragged afterwards. But
adding to the non-white stereotype there, yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit naughty, that bit. But it was very, very, very funny.
I mean, if he's being honest, then whatever. But
yeah.
But yeah,
I've got a bit before as well, because obviously we had a bit before, didn't we? We had, it was Ortiz, it was. And I also liked a bit that came just before it when, was it those two did it, put salt in the eyes on Omega. Then they get that double table bump. And I thought, that felt rough, that did, just before. Oh, God. There's so much stuff in that fight instance, wasn't there?
So much.
I know, right? And you know what, right? One of the funniest things in that whole, like, changing of character with the whole Lake of Reincarnation or the pool of water at the Jacksonville Jaguars Stadium is the fact that they put the graphic up. Like, if all those that don't remember, like, way back in early SmackDown days where they had, like, matte facts. So they, to avoid copyright, they put matter of fact.
I got that,
like, what is this? Ridiculous. Like, oh my God.
Matter of fact, Matt Hardy can hold his breath for 384 seconds.
I was watching that. I thought, I don't believe this. It was just so.
And then, like, there was the bell ringing after with Ortiz and then strapping him to a wheelchair. Like, what is going on? That was absolutely mad. And and also like, did you guys like? I don't know if any of you two do drink a little bit of the bubbly, but when we went to the bar and like Jake Hager just came in with like, getting a drink, okay. I'm like, what?
I know, yeah.
See, legit felt like.
I love Hangman Page's line there, where was it? Hager was like, or he was like, "Do you want to fight or do you want to drink?" And then Hangman Page, in like the coolest fashion possible, just went, it's kind of the same thing either way, isn't it? And then boom.
Yeah, it was like sort of, you could see some scenes in that bar fight like for Western, weren't they? Or like a gangster film.
Along the top of the bar.
Yeah, that was definitely.
There was the big Lebowski reference there as well. By I think Excalibur said, like, when Hangman Page was like through the table of the bar, like throwing all the drinks and food and snacks. Like,
I love that so much.
No.
And the amazingness was like Hangman was so impressive with his like athleticism, with the pool table and other like the apparatus that was there. It was like incredible. Yes. And then Kenny Omega showed up. Yeah, Kenny Omega. Yeah, I mean, I swear, like Jake Hager has either got stitches or them bottles weren't as glassy as we thought it would. But yeah,
how many bottles got smashed in his head? I think it was 4 bottles got smashed in his head, didn't they?
I thought like it would
at least like 10, but yeah.
You think in real life that would have probably cut your skull open that 4 bottles alone. Yeah.
Oh man! Now when Jake was at the receiving end of that buckshot lariat with the V-trigger combo,
I love that so. That's so much just that moment of Hangman.
And then at the end, because Kenny Omega doesn't drink, Hangman just gets some milk, gets some whiskey. And when they did the cheers, a bit of the milk got into the whiskey, and Hangman was like, "Oh, that was fine."
Yes. Did you catch Jim Ross's comment on that? Jim Ross is saying, "I don't believe it. Hangman Page is drinking milk-flavored whiskey."
And then I think it was either Hugh Stellar said, he'd drink anything, that Hangman.
Brilliant.
Oh man. Wow.
One of the best.
Shall we also? Sorry, Paul. Go on.
Okay. So sorry, we might be moving on too fast, but one of the finest moments of anything ever was it Matt Jackson.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yo,
this is the Wrestle-Up. This is the Wrestle-Up podcast, man. It's all chill, man. Go ahead.
That like Matt Jackson doing the suplexes of the entire football
Yes,
game.
the Northern Light suplexes. Yes, I was just about to get onto that.
Yeah, that was
love
the
that
next
so
bit.
much.
Oh, it was insane. Won it. Oh.
So, and then when he gets to the end and he just like spikes Guevara's head into the ground, like spiking the football.
Touchdown!
Touchdown, yeah.
And then like Matt Jackson super kicks like Bryce Rinsberg for like yellow card for celebrating like whatever that NFL guy was called. Like super kick him. And oh my days, I'm gonna say this right now. One of the funniest moments of the match. Well, there are so many funny moments, but the next funniest moment I would say is at the same time we had the Chris Jericho and Nick Jackson confrontation, where what was it? Chris Jericho was a hit into goal from Nick Jackson, and then during the whole time we had what the hell was the name of that? What was it? The Jacksonville that mascot. I forgot the name.
Mascot, yeah. I didn't catch his name.
The Jackson DeVille mascot. Like we just showed up and like went the whole suck it and like I don't know what the hell I was doing, and then Jericho like, nah, F you. The Judas effect. I was like, wow, this is amazing. This is absolutely I was in awe. At this point, I was like, this could be potentially the greatest match of the year. Potentially. And Will's like absolutely incredible and wow. And what was it like? How did Jericho got out of commission? I think Nick Jackson did something. I think no, it was a table spot, wasn't it? It was the table spot where it was the table spot where Nick Jackson just ran from like all the steps down. But I then realized, what's the point of him doing that if he's just gonna stop midway, like on there and then? But it doesn't matter. He made a big splash, and then Hangman Page literally had like a line roller for the chalk, and I went, okay, so complete timing. Oh man,
yeah.
Andy, you like
ran so slowly.
Sorry, Paul.
He was running so slowly down the steps for the table spot as well. Like,
oh no,
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. But at least he didn't miss a step. Andy, can we describe Sammy Guevara's lapsadaisical behavior as he got woken up by the sprinklers? And
that is really funny. He overacted it completely, but the habit of it.
No, absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Andy, and then like Sammy Guevara was like, we won!
Yeah. Oh, the guy is brilliant. He really is an absolute genius, that young man. Yeah, and then he basically we got the back shit kicked out of him basically.
And then Andy, there was a noise behind him, and what was the vehicle?
Yes, Neo 1 introduction. I thought that makes sense.
No. I'm talking about the golf cart. The golf cart.
Golf cart. Sorry, golf cart. Oh, yeah, the golf cart.
And Neo 1 comes later.
Yeah, Neo 1 comes later.
The golf cart, and Sammy's like, oh shit.
Yeah. Not again.
Not again. But the funniest thing is, during that run, he ran the straight line again, but Bryce Brinsberg's like, oh my god. But somehow, Sammy, here's the funniest thing, right? How in the world is Sammy outrunning a horse, but also outrunning a golf cart? How is that not possible? But it's just like he got to the end. I know he is a Spanish god, yeah. So he got into out of the field. He got upstage, and then Paul, what happened after that? So we had like Kenny Omega joined in, Matt Hardy came in. Like, yeah, tell us what happened.
Matt Hardy came in. Sammy Guevara kind of managed to turn the momentum around, and Matt Hardy only for Vanguard 1 return. Well, new Vanguard 1. It was a Neo 1.
No, it was the new. What did it call? The new
Neo 1. Neo 1. I've got here.
Neo 1. Yeah. Like, they. And the funny thing is, the commentator's like, "Oh yeah, that's the new system. That's the new."
That's just it. Taking over our cameras.
Oh, it's a Neo 1.
And then that big finish where like Omega catches Guevara then and just
oh my god, that was such a scary spot.
Was it called the one? They called it the one-winged angel. One-winged angel, was it?
One-winged angel is a Vegas finishing move, yeah. And can I just tell you guys something? Like, obviously, you guys could see on camera. So when you do the one-winged angel, right? Yeah, you're on here, and you have to go like this. So literally, Sammy Guevara his eyes are pointing to the sky. He can't see jack shit. He cannot see jack shit. Like, he literally lands when he lands. Omega knows when he's gonna land, but that is perhaps, it was done safely because they know what they're doing, but it was so scary. It was so brutal. The finish was so brutal that Aubrey Edwards, she had to like get a ladder to climb up. That was absolutely incredible. I think we've literally like covered like the match, or like attempted to. So Paul, tell us your thoughts on the match overall, and feel free to give it a rating if you wish.
I absolutely loved it. It was so entertaining. I laughed so much. There was still lots of good violence, like so many good spots. Like we went through them all there, but like literally I had 3 pages of notes for the whole show, and that was about 1.25 pages of my notes. It's so hard to give a match like this a star rating, but I think like
there was enough wrestling to justify. There was at least more wrestling than the Boneyard match and the Firefly Trash House match. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Honestly, it was, again, going on entertainment factor, I give it 4 3/4, 4.75.
Wow, that's a pretty high praise, Andy.
It's going to be the same now. I've got a reason why I'm not giving it 5 here, actually, as well. There's one thing we didn't talk about, very brief when I mentioned this one. When Jericho did an attempted pin on one of the books, and I forget which one it was, and he then started arguing with Audrey Edwards, and he went into the replay tab, didn't he?
We saw that bit, but they had to go through VAR, like the video referee.
I thought that was brilliant. That was really, really funny. But there's one bit.
What do you mean?
Brilliant bit. One bit in it was they let me down, lost a little bit of mark me, because I used to work in television editing, so I know a bit about it. And because I spotted a little glitch where you can see it had been recorded, not all in one take. They spent all day recording that.
Apparently it was 8 hours.
Yeah, it showed. That's why. And they pulled it off for 34 minutes. And I thought, one little bit, and I spotted it. I didn't know about that bit, Dray. But I thought I saw the glitch the slight second, and if you didn't know working television, you wouldn't have spotted it. And that's how smooth it was. So it's 4.7.
Wow, that feels like the teacher that's like marking someone down for not putting a full stop.
Yeah, but it's brilliant. Best fight I've seen this year. That's been honest with you guys.
So you say 4.75 out of 5. Is that what you're rating?
Definitely. It? Yeah, 4.75 out of 5.
All right. So
super.
So I'm gonna rate this 5 stars.
5 stars. 5 stars.
5 stars. 5 stars. It was 5 stars. Like literally, I watched it live. I can't complain anything about it. What you mentioned, I didn't notice it, and even though I do editing myself and all that kind of stuff, and I mean, I felt that it didn't feel long at all. The time breezed by. I thought it was 40-something minutes, but it was 34 minutes. That's a good sign. Everyone played their part. Everyone brought their A game. So many notes. It was such a fun experience. And you know what? 5 stars. Like, it was a masterpiece. They literally made the empty arena gimmick their own. And they used in the crowd noises from the little crowd that they had in the stadium to react to it. So that was so clever. That added to it.
Good
and
sound
it's just
editing, that. Yeah.
5 stars. It is literally, I have to put this down as match of the year contender. I'm not sure if it will beat the match between Osprey and Hiromu in G1 or the Super Juniors. Like one, I think it was in one of those. Yeah. Earlier this year. No, it was Wrestle Kingdom. Yeah. When those two face each other. Yeah. Like, I don't know if it can beat that, but 5 stars.
Banana, definitely, guy. Yeah. Give him a round of applause. They deserve it.
Right. Thank you. So let's go on overall thoughts on the pay-per-view. So, Paul, your thoughts on the pay-per-view overall, and feel free to give it. You can give it a star rating out of 5. You can give it like a grade, like A+ to F or whatever. So yeah, go ahead, Paul. Rate how you wish.
Overall, it was really fun. Like overall things, AEW, like the small little audience it does put in, makes so much of a difference compared to the completely empty arena shows. I thought the set was really nice. Those like cards that they had up with the keep calling him Luke Harper, Brody Lee and John Moxley were really just nice design. It was so much fun. Again, most of the matches I loved. Like at least half the matches in the show were like at least very good for me. I think I'd give it an A. Not an A+, but I'd give it an A.
Andy.
I'm going to say an A as well. You know, even though back then, the good thing was the really bad fights or the weaker fights were left minimal. And they covered probably 10 minutes between the pair of them, really. And then they'd be able to move on back to good fights, very good fights, yeah. Best. It's probably the best pay-per-view that AEW done to me, apart from the original one last year. It's probably the best one.
Mean, they made the best out of an uncomfortable situation with all this isolation period.
Yeah.
I think if they had a full crowd and they had the same matches, we could have like rated some of the matches higher because they would have booked it a different way. And for that reason, I'm gonna. You know what? It's gonna be a clean house of A's, guys. But yeah, I can't give it A+. I think that because if it had to be A+, every match had to have been around 4 stars or more, you know, and that wasn't the case. And yeah, so A, I think A is a very, very, very fair rating. Yeah, absolutely.
Worth your time, guys. That's for all 10 of the listeners. Check it out. Like I said, there's a lot of exceptional good fights in that. It really was. I was knackered by the end of it, but it was worth it.
I mean, at least you weren't watching live.
Oh, no, I don't know how you did that. I really don't know how you did that. Anyone's wondering, what time do you get to bed this morning,
I woke up a couple of hours later, isn't it?
Do you go to bed? You told me this morning at 5 o'clock, wasn't it? 5 a.m., 5 p.m. or 5 a.m.
And then I just missed you going, yeah, man, I'm ready for the podcast. Yeah, man.
Sanity. I got up at 7 this morning to watch it, or 6:30, and I found it at 7 to watch. But I don't know who did it. Yeah. you came on later on, Paul, didn't you, to watch it? You told me before, didn't you?
Yeah, I only started watching it around 11 or 12.
Yeah, I was wondering, Paul.
You literally watched it. You literally watched it just in time for this podcast.
I want it to be all fresh in my head, you know. Method to this.
Brilliant.
I think also part of the reason why I wanted to watch it live, as well as me wanting to watch it live anyway, is the fact that for me, I honestly feel that because I know enough people that might spoil it for me, so they can't spoil it if it's live. So actually,
to be fair, I was giving out earlier about I didn't enjoy the Cody Rhodes Lance Archer match as much, and part of that might have been while I was watching that, I went on Twitter for a few minutes and spoiled the match for myself.
Brother,
so,
that's it. You have to avoid that socials.
Mm-hmm.
I listen a lot to the Wade Keller podcast and his post-show reviews of the wrestling products. And when it's the AEW, I do that after now.
Can I just say, Andy, how in the world can you go through the Wade Keller podcast? That guy puts ads for days. Like this podcast here won't have any like ad breaks.
No ads.
Like he puts like every 5 minutes ad, more ads, ad.
iPod, fast forward. iPod, fast forward. Right? That's why I get through it.
That would infuriate me far too much. So Andy, so would you like to discuss anything else, or would you like to discuss what might happen in Dynamite? Are you feeling discussing any kind of topics?
I don't know what I was going to discuss, to be honest on it. Obviously, guys, with obviously Dynamite on Wednesday, the big thing's obviously with Brian Cage's introduction. And then obviously it's also with what they're going to do with Britt Baker. In Britt Baker's case, if she's not back imminently, you're right. it could well be the fact they might bring another wrestler in. You know, bring somebody, perhaps have a link up with Nyla Rose or something as a manager sort of feel. Because they're going to want to do something with her, aren't they, when they get a fit again. They're the two big points to me on Wednesday. Beyond that, I'm not sure. Oh, also Best Friends versus Paige and Omega. So that'd be the three things they're going to concentrate on, aren't they?
I think as well, Tony Khan has announced that Brian Cage versus Moxley for the world title will take place at Fyter Fest in July. So
I hadn't seen the date for that.
That's another thought. Did you guys know that if it weren't for this isolation period, Fyter Fest was actually going to be in the UK?
Was it really?
Really?
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, but because of La Corona, that's not going to happen. So yeah, legit. I only found this out this morning that Tony Khan had a conference call and they said that if it weren't for La Corona, he would have had it held in the UK. And we could have all just hung out, met up. You know, I drink my orange juice. You guys drink your Chardonnay or whatever you do. And
whiskey and Diet Coke. Well, I shouldn't. Oh well. If you get one in England, then we'll all get a penny saved when we get down there.
Yeah, AEW 2021. If you want to come to the UK, we'll be happy to come. I'll even bring in my mask because that's how I always look. Zera.
Oh, my little lady once told me if the AEW come play England or Manchester, she would love to come watch it with me. So I'll have half with me. And I think Paul, is your lady into AEW, is she?
She'd watch it. Like she was watching some of it this morning. She'd go for the break. Go do something.
Well, we'll have to talk. We'll get everybody, get all our friends down with us and make a real party. We'll definitely play England. So.
Absolutely. So just to let you know, people, when this comes out tomorrow at 7 p.m. UK time, 11 a.m. Pacific, we'll be having the Dray Zera Uncensored podcast. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because the special guest is Andy, who's in this podcast. He's the host of this podcast. So I'll be interviewing him. Just questions about the life of Andy and Kemp Town and various other things. But also in the podcast, we'll be talking about the Anunnaki theory with my professional wrestler co-host Jackie Hyde.
You mentioned
as
that
well.
to me, yeah.
So if you believe that if you believe that deep down the world was invaded by aliens many years ago, then come check out the podcast. Definitely. Now, and also, what's happening the day after, Andy, in the Spoken Label podcast?
Yes, on my podcast, Tuesday. Spoken Label, Dray Zera is then my special guest.
Oh my God! Wow!
And bizarrely enough, the next podcast after that one is going to be Paul McNamara. So it's like I said,
oh my days! The only thing that makes this like balance if Paul interviews me or I interview him, so that
I'll have to start the podcast series just to interview you.
Dray, you need to get Paul on your podcast now. Then Dray's definitely Dray Uncensored.
Yeah, well, the funny thing about the Dray Zera Uncensored podcast is a bit like Andy's. Like we at the Dray Zera Uncensored, we actually film ahead of time. So at the moment, it looks like if I bring Paul in now, I don't think he'll be able to. I don't think he'll hear his voice through the Dray Zera lens until mid-July.
That's how busy I am at the moment with Spoken Label, honestly. I've got like myself probably 15 podcasts or more than that to release. So yeah,
absolutely. So it feels. Do you feel, Andy, that we need to do some general plugs? Because I feel like the golf cart and Damascus and Matt Hardy version 215,000 Neo 1 has really made a turn. So yeah, so Paul, shout out your socials.
So I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Paul McPoet, or Facebook at Paul McNamara Performance Poet.
Sweet. All right. So, because I am also a guest or co-host or whatever Andy wants to identify me as, whatever I am. So,
co-host.
Thanks, Andy. Just want to clarify. So check me out at Dray Zera on YouTube. Search up Dray Zera. Also on Facebook at Dray Zera. Also, you can check me out on Instagram, Twitter, all on Dray Zera. Instagram.com/DrayZera, Twitter.com/DrayZera. You know the pattern, but also on DrayZera.net. You can purchase a signed copy of A Broken Circuit Board, the debut book, back in the days when Dray Zero wasn't really that masked. So what the hell happened to that young guy? So yes, definitely check out the book. Postage is available international. So yes, check it out. Shake it all about. 112 poems in this book. I mean, wow, 112 poems in this book. I mean, what more than you want, apart from also Andy's latest book as well. Andy,
yeah. Okay, well, this actually is a reissue of my first book, actually. I've done a couple since Return to Camptown. This book is literally 10 years old, and I went back, because it's 10 years anniversary now, I went back and remixed it, rejiggled a few of the poems and put a load of brand new ones in. And there's not 110 poems, it's certainly about 60 now. It's 112 pages long. Also, my partner, the gorgeous Amanda Steele, has bought out this gorgeous chapbook as well. A collection of poems from lockdown called Always Dark Before Dawn. Well worth checking out as well.
Awesome stuff, awesome stuff. Well, definitely check out AEW every Wednesday. Check it out on Fight TV if you are a UK viewer. Fight TV Plus for AEW is only about £5 a month. £5. What is £5? £5 is cheaper than going to KFC at the moment. So you know.
KFC's not open there, mate. So yeah.
I mean, absolute disgraces, and Andy. But anyway, yeah, definitely, people check out AEW, and if you like WWE, that's cool, but don't check them out. And yeah, Paul, have you got any last words to say?
Oh, thanks for having me, and yeah, go enjoy AEW. Go enjoy all the rest. There's lots of good stuff happening.
Oh yeah, plenty to come as well.
Yes.
Right, guys and girls, we shall see you all in a couple of weeks' time. Take care, all.
All right, we shall see you later. Bye-bye.
See you later, guys.